Hi ropers, I'm back with another video, something very different. Uh, we're going to make rope, our own rope from throwaway yarns, leftover yarns. They're everywhere. And so I'll probably have to make two videos because I don't like them to be too long. They're hard to upload to YouTube. Anyway, here's what I've been playing around with for the past couple of days. I'm going to show you. Let's see. We'll move. What shall we start with? Okay. Last year, I saw Susan Lenz, who is a installation artist. She's pretty famous, and she makes this type of bowl from yarn. So I made one last year. This is totally from yarn, and I really enjoyed making it, but I've been so busy with other things that I haven't had a chance to play around with more and put my own spin on it. Was her style. Let me see, where are we here? Yes. Uh, so I made a large bowl and a smaller one, as you can see. It's basically the same thing as sewing regular, rope cordage, but you make your own cordage out of yarn. And not a difficult thing, a little time consuming. Uh, so here is what, about four pieces of yarn zigzagged on your sewing machine. I'll give a demo in a minute. And this was what I had made. This is what it looks like. And I made these two size bowls, bigger one and a smaller one. Now they do hold their shape. They're very lightweight. They hold their shape, but they're soft. So totally different. They're very arty, totally different than regular rope bowls. But they're quite nice. So that was last year when I was playing around. Now yesterday I decided I needed to do something different. So I wanted to try something that I wanted to do this with a lot more substance to it, more wabi sabi, as I call it, um, or free form. Uh, so this is one of the bowls that I made after I made the yarn, and I really like it. It's adorable. I just really like it, and it's soft, but it holds its shape beautifully. So I made this one, and this is the yarn. This is the yarn that I made to create this bowl. Now this yarn, I have about 16 um, lines of yarn, 16 different yarns. And I put it under my vintage sewing machine, which is right in the background there, my vintage Kenmores. You know how I love them. And I just zigzagged it, just one zigzag, just to hold it together. Because when you sew your bowl, you're going to do the same as you sew any rope bowl. You're just doing your zigzag. And that gives it pretty good stability. So that's this style rope. It's twisted and zigzagged and like 16 pieces. I'll show you this in a minute how to do it because I have it onto my sewing machine here. I also made a little bit different out of the same exact bunch of yarns that I have over here. And I'll point the camera over there in a little bit so you can see. And it's flat. It's more like a ribbon, but it's kind of thick for the ribbon. So I don't know, does it show up on this camera? So, and that's what it looks like. So I made a bunch of that. Here's the ball of it. And here is the little basket that I made from it. It's the same exact yarns, but you can see that it's a totally different look to it. This is very free form. It still holds its shape. Now, this is, I'll do a video on how to do this one because it's very different to make it with this flat type of yarn. So we'll get into that at another time. I'm just giving a little quickie video here. And I also made, which I don't know what I'm going to make yet, but a yarn ribbon. So I guess I just made that up. I cut strips of denim for the back, and then I just zigzagged down 3 or 4 strands of the yarn, and I came up with this large amount here. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but it was like a fun thing to do. And I'll show you this scarf that I made a couple of years ago. Totally different technique, much more complicated, but I called them quilted yarn scarves at the time when I was selling them. And they're very, very time consuming. So kind of cool though. Everybody likes them, and they're washable. So that's kind of what we're playing with today. Now I will show you how, as long as my machine behaves. Come on, baby. And turn her on. And this is like my 1970 Kenmore machine that I rescued. Was frozen, not working. And this is my hobby. I like to rescue these machines. I have Singers and Whites. I have a bunch of them. I have about 25 machines now, Rocketeers. But I really like the Kenmores because they're uncomplicated and super strong. So as long as it has a zigzag, we're good. So here's the ball of yarns that I've been working on, and here is how it goes into the machine. Now my presser foot is the least pressure that it can have. On the top here, you can, top of this machine, you can push this up and down to make your pressure for your foot. So, okay. And this little machine also has this great, you could take it off and have free arm. So it's a great little machine. 1 amp motor. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so here I'm going to show you what I learned to do. I did a couple different ways of doing this, and what I learned to do that works best. You see how many yarns I have in here? Doesn't matter what kind they are or anything, your color combinations. I love color combinations. And what I'm doing is I'm twisting, let me move this here a bit. I'm twisting